Well, Coach, being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
90, Wolf. 54. Hey, I'm coming. Hey. Mike Smith. Yeah.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Check 31.
To throw, Brissett. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Ready,
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. This is Breida. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
At the 19-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. They just get the play off. Now Brissett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Quinnen Williams in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Middle. Defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Hey, echo.
From the 36, Rosen. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that would be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else.
Oh, Rosen is stripped to the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. The big fella. He's at the 50. 30. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Every time you keep putting that ball in the ground. That's our ball.
1st down and 10.
And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We're scoreless after 1. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And some room to roam now. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Matt Breida, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Set, ready. Come, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Check 26, check 26.
They run with Breida, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
I got you, pop.
On the delay, here's Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Last stop. Last stop.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Guys, out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. 80. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Man.
And now it's Rosen looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go. Hey, Delta. Mike 50.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Bradley Chubb in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 16. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Here's Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go counter with Breida. Got some room at the 30. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Titans. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football, doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
At their 49-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Ready. Get your swarm on. Go. Motion.
Brissett now. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Mike 47. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long drive.
Now Rosen back into his end zone. And the catch made by Hopkins. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
47. Mike 47.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Rosen going deep for Hopkins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On now is the Titans punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd and 10, Rosen. It's caught by Mike Evans. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And shoving his way inside the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On 2nd and very short, Rosen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bradley Chubb in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. Here we go. Shoot. Hey, alert, alert.
Here's Rosen to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Titans, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
47's a Mike, boy. 47. 80. 47.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Bring it. Bring it.
They run again with Breida. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quentin Williams has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Tight down. There you go.
Now Rosen. Going right side here, and that's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Rosen now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Badgley up and good, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Check.
Throwing, Brissett. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And that might be Titan football. It is. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here it comes. Shift. Hey, Alpha.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. It's complete to Hopkins. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
It's a gain of 14 yards. And the Titans first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Back now in Nashville. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Quarter. Switch. Check out.
Once again, it's Jacobs. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Hey, quarters.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Flush to his right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. That would have been big. Would have broke our tie here in the 4th, but he couldn't stay in bounds.
And they worked so hard. All practice sessions, always working out, even in pregame, trying to get your feet down in bounds. Unable to get that done on that play.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Push him back! Push him back!
Brissett sets to throw it. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one good for 37 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Breida. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch before. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Brissett. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Focus, defense, focus.
They go play action. It's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
The Titans on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Wahoo! 47 Mike, 47 Mike, Mike 47. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Rosen will throw. And he comes back with one complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Brissett. Screen pass to Lindsey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Okay.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hey. Where's it? Go, the mic. 65.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Here's Brissett. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
And the Broncos' 1st down.
Here we go. Right here, right here.
Brissett looks to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Watch Mike. Here we go. Here we go.
Now Brissett. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And I tell you what, they were big favorites coming in, but they had to work for this one.
It certainly wasn't the walk in the park that you expected coming into this one. I have a suspicion that in their meetings next week, head coach going to talk to them a little bit about focus, don't you think?
Yeah, because down the stretch, there was some nail-biting going on. And you're right. I think not only the fans, but those folks inside that locker room, they expected a comfortable victory.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that just tells you about the NFL. Any given game, you never know how it's going to turn out. You'd better be ready to play.
So for Tennessee, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long.